Hey, Rackets, it's Mrs. Wilkenbush. Hey, welcome back from a long weekend. I hope you're ready to get started with our book club for this week. We are reading Galaxy Games, The Challengers, Chapter 7 by Greg R. Fishbone. I don't know about you, but I'm really getting into this book. I'm going to apologize again. I'm not pronouncing some of the words correctly, but I think you're kind of getting the gist of the story. So here we go. Chapter 7, Middle Solar System. Aboard this silver spaceship 400 million miles from Earth, thousands of radio and TV stations blared through the toilet in the bathroom of the captain's quarters. The ship's technician had disassembled the wall panel, revealing a maze of pipes, cranks, wheels, and junction boxes. With his head wedged in the wall, he reached back with a tentacle. Sonic wrench! Sonic what? Asked the captain. Sonic wrench! The technician had to shout to be heard above the din. Captain Mafraza reached into the technician's box, selected a metal cylinder with a spiked ball on the end. She held it out with hopeful expression. The technician accepted the tool, then pulled himself out of the wall and traded it for a wedge of yellow plastic that sprouted short tubes along its edge. Just a few final adjustments, Captain. He ducked back into the wall, and the voices all buzzed together. Almost there. The waterfall of sound ended abruptly, except for a single voice. The technician gurgled at his accomplishment. I've isolated one of the signals and blocked out all the others. With a little work, we should be able to select whichever signal we want. That's great! The technician listened for the voice for a moment, then sighed through his nose holes. It makes no sense yet. The ship's translator unit is still adjusting to the unfamiliar language. He could take a few pulses. The captain nodded. She did not tell the technician that the more advanced language implant in her head had already made the adjustment. The transmission was a woman's voice delivering nearby planet's first message ever to be heard and understood by alien ears. Cheeseburgers? For breakfast? Your parents might say no. But we say yes with new cheeseburger crunch cereal. Delicious bun-shaped flakes of wheat with brown patties, green pickles, red tomatoes, and yellow cheese squares that stay crunchy in milk, fortified with 10 essential vitamins. Cheeseburger crunch is the cheesiest, beefiest part of this nutritious breakfast. Mafraza frowned. Father-parent would certainly not approve. Tokyo, Japan. Dakai and his classmates puzzled over the latest announcement from Principal Usami. It was his third reminder that all after-school club meetings were canceled for the day. This time, the principal also added that classes and club meetings for the next 2 days would be canceled as well. Takai's friend, Katsuro Tabi, leaned across the aisle. No school for 2 days? This is becoming serious, Daka-kun. Dakai was surprised that Katsuro would try to chat in the middle of a lesson. But others in the class were talking as well, and Mrs. Arashina wasn't stopping them. The teacher had been acting strange for most of the day, and now she was just reading aloud to the class from her science textbook without asking any questions. In 1994, fragments of a comet slammed into the atmosphere of Jupiter. Scientists counted 21 impacts over the course of 6 days. The largest fragments hit with more energy than all of mankind's nuclear weapons going off at once. Together, they left dark Earth-sized scars across the face of Jupiter for many months afterward. Miss Ashina continued reading, hardly seeming to care that the class was no longer paying attention to the material. They don't cancel school for an earthquake drill, Katsuro persisted. Well, they might if it's a really big earthquake drill, said Dakai, or a giant monster drill. For 2 days? It would take at least that long to run through all the possible variations. Dakai counted on his finger. Godzilla the giant lizard, Mothra the giant moth, Rodin the giant pterodon, Gamera the giant turtle. Giant monsters only attack in movies, said Katsuro. Well, so far, Dakai told him, but shouldn't we be prepared for everything? Yumi Nanamura, the class know-it-all, skipped across the room and flopped into a chair on the other side of Dakai's desk with her back to the teacher. Mai says her brother told her friend as he saw Asashina Sensei crying in the stairwell during lunch. So what? Said Katsuro. So watch this. Yumi turned to the front of the class and raised her hand and waved it back and forth like a flag. Oh, Ashina Sensei. Mrs. Ashina just continued to read. In June 1908, a meteor or a comet fragment exploded 5 to 10 kilometers above a remote part of Russia. The shock wave toppled 80 million trees and shattered windows hundreds of kilometers away. Yumi lowered her hand and turned it back to Dakai's desk as if it were a conference table. See, she's not calling on anyone. Something odd is happening at our school, and now our teacher is acting odd as well. Obviously, she knows what's going on. Somebody from our class should try to make her talk, and we all think it should be you. She nodded at Dakai. Me? Dakai felt his stomach clench. Why me? Well, you're certainly the most likable kid in our class, Shindo-san. You're up 3 notches in rankings. Most likable? Asked Dakai. But I thought all the girls hated me. That was Tuesday, Shindo-san, said Yumi. Try to keep up. Hey, I'm likable too, said Katsuro. You come in 6th. Here, I'll show you. Yumi marched to the front of the room, directly behind the teacher, and wrote the current popularity rankings on the board. Shinju Dakai is first, then Nori, Ri, myself, and Takako. Takako. I'm less likable than Takako? Katsuro looked pale. Bone-thin girl in the last row. Takako, the girl who smells like feet, is more likable than I am? Says who? All the girls, said Yumi. And what about the boys? Yumi shrugged. Well, why would we ask any of them? Dakai studied their teacher for a while. As the room got noisier with student chatter, Miss Ashina just kept reading. Impacts from space are now suspected to have caused or contributed to several mass extinctions in Earth's past. This includes the asteroid strike that helped to kill off the Mosars, the Pterosaurs, the Plesiosaurs, and non-avian dinosaurs that had previously dominated the world for millions of years. Dakai had to admit it. It was unlike their teacher to ever lose control of the class this way. If Ashina Sensei is upset about something, I don't want to bother her. Yumi shook her head. Shindo-san, would you really risk your new ranking by turning us down? I know you have a girlfriend already, but someday when you're available again, you want all the girls to think well of you. Wait, hold on. Katsuro blinked from Yumi to Dakai. You have a girlfriend, Dakai-kun? You? And you never said anything about it? I don't have a girlfriend, Dakai stated. Don't deny it. Yumi pointed a finger in Dakai's face. Ri's cousin friend saw you and your girlfriend at a store. You were buying matching Hunter Elf Zeta shirts. Must be getting pretty serious, She's not my girlfriend, Dakai shouted, far too loud for his voice to be masked by the others in the classroom. He clapped a hand over his mouth, but it was too late. All conversation stopped, and all eyes were on him. At the front of the classroom, Mrs. Ashina sighed, put her book down, and looked out at the class for the first time all period. It seems Shindo-san has something to say. Would you care to share with us, Shindo-san? Dakai felt his heart beating louder. He cleared his throat. Sensei, we know something strange is happening. Can you tell us what it is? The teachers pursed her lips. All of the teachers have agreed that it is up to your parents to discuss today's news. But can you tell us at least that if it's something bad, Dakai persisted, is anybody going to die? Mrs. Ashina's gaze swept slowly across the entire class. Her eyes welled up with tears, and she spoke with a tremor in the voice. Everybody in this classroom, everybody at this school. She took a deep breath and wiped her eyes before continuing. Thinks we should conduct our lessons today without any further discussion. The teachers groaned in disappointment as Mrs. Ashina lifted her book and resumed her dry recitation of geology facts. Soon the room was again filled with the sound of chatter. That wasn't helpful at all, said Yumi. She told us nothing. Takai sat at his desk, hands clenched, his heart pounding in his ears. Everybody. Did Mrs. Ashina really mean everybody? Middle solar system. Aboard the silver spaceship 380 million miles from Earth, the captain lay in her bed pod and listened to a song play through her toilet. It seemed to be called It's the End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine. The words were confusing, but the tune reminded her of a Mediterranean song called Meet Me on a Slimy Rock and Let Me Be Your Squishums. When the song ended, a tired voice said, Just gonna keep playing it over and over. Don't try to stop me. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Started again from the beginning for at least the 15th time in a row. Mafraza stifled a yawn. It was nice, but such a shame that nobody on this planet had ever written a second or third song just to keep people from getting bored. Tokyo, Japan. 41 hours before the most important human event in history, Takai's school principal waved at the rows of students filing out of the building. Directly home, everybody. Don't dawdle. Don't talk to anyone else until you reach your parents. Don't talk to anyone, asked Katsuro. What does he mean by that? And why are you suddenly so quiet, Daka-kan? Have you started talking already? I'm just thinking about what Ashina Sensei told us, Takai told his friend. She didn't tell us anything. Katsura hiked his book bag higher on his shoulders. She just read to us from an entire period. Most of it was material we're not even covering this year. What a waste. What a waste, Takai agreed. He and Katsura lived on the same street, so they often walked together from school. Today, Takai kept quiet, while Katsura ranted about how teachers shouldn't be allowed to act so weird. Suddenly, a white-haired man ran past them in an awful hurry, shouting, Taisato is coming! Taisato is coming! Taisato is coming! The man crossed the street and disappeared through the sliding glass door of a convenience store. Takai frowned. Who is Taisato? Katsura wondered. My cousin from America, Takai told him. Really? And he's coming to Japan? Not as far as I know. Strange that that same old man would hear the news before you did. They walked on past an apartment building where the two women were talking on the third floor blank balcony. I heard that Taisato is a 400 meters wide and weighs about 100,000 pounds, said one of the women. The other woman shook her head. I heard Taisato is a kilometer wide and weighs more than 1,000,000 tons. Hey, Takai shouted at them. I'm pretty sure Taisato is less than 150 centimeters tall and weighs about 50 kilograms at the most. The women laughed and retreated into their apartment. Maybe your cousin's been turned into a gigantic radioactive monster, Katsuro suggested. That would explain why everyone's been acting so crazy. People only turn into giant radioactive monsters in comic books and movies, said Takai. So far, said Katsuro. As they approached Katsuro's house, Takai could hear the television newscaster's report from inside. He could just make out the words. Are reporting that Taisato is moving toward us at more than 4,000 kilometers per second. Senator Archer of the United States is urging the use of nuclear weapons against Taisato, but scientists are divided. The sound of the television cut off suddenly. A few seconds later, a window opened and a flat screen dropped out. It shattered on the sidewalk, where it became a plastic pile of electronic junk. Katsuro clasped his hands against the side of his head. That was our TV! Katsuro's father stuck his head out the window and shook his fist at the broken television set. Take that, television. No more bad news from you. He turned his head. Oh, Kachiwawa! Katsuro-kan! Kachiwawa! Daka-kan! I didn't see you there. Sorry, I don't know what that really means. Takai ran the rest of the way home. His mother was on the phone, as angry as Takai has ever heard her. No, Hishiro-kan, I don't care how important your work is. I'm sure the rest of the world astronomers can handle things if you took a vacation for once. You haven't even been back to Tokyo even once since your university days, and now the world is about to end. I miss you, little brother. Kazukan misses you. Raiko-kan barely knows who you are, and poor Daka-kan has never even met you in person. Takai grabbed the phone away from his mother. Hello, Oji-san? He asked. It would be nice for you to visit Japan, but please tell cousin Tyler-kan not to step on Tokyo. Flat Bluff, Nevada is chapter 8, and we are stopped right there. Whew, that's getting good. I am so sorry. Some of those names, I think the last one that I kind of messed up after the dad threw the TV out the window, I think those are like, oh, hi, did see you there kind of references. So I'll keep working on my how to pronounce some of these words. So bear with me. Hey, have a great day, Rockets, and I will